Hey guys, Mellow Retro here. Welcome back to part 2 of Final Fantasy VIII with graphic mods. Today we're going to be doing the Dollet mission. So going to be picking up the pace a little bit here. So let's do as Keistis told us and go get changed into our uniform. Don't think we've been to the dormitory yet. Of course, we gotta eavesdrop first. Okay, let's move on. Man, how nice does that screen look? Once again, here's our improved FMV. And Zoe is now with us. Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm trying to time the text windows a little better this video. Yeah, something happens to Sid here. It's just one of those rare glitches. I'm actually surprised because with these graphic mods, there's a glitch where Headmaster Sid often has a tiny slit through the center of his head, and that time it didn't show up. I really like those new text windows. I always hated the old, ugly, gray ones that the original had. And little things like that, again, make a huge, huge difference. Because, I mean, how often do you see that window? That's one thing I learned from doing game design. Small things like that, like icons. Icons make a huge difference, not just in terms of, you know, picking something that fits, that makes sense logically, but finding something that fits the art style of the game affects the atmosphere in a huge way. It's all the little things that make the big difference. Okay, I gotta drive this thing now. Student driver here. Yeah, Balam looks really nice. We'll have to explore that in the next video. I have stocked up on some magic, so we should be okay in the upcoming battles. It's interesting that in the Final Fantasy universe, a high-ranking mercenary administrator has the same name as a big-ass bird. Yeah, we don't need to hear that again. It's funny how just a minute ago, Zell was talking about not letting Cypher get to you. By the way, this next upcoming cutscene, there's a slight hiccup with it. I'll explain afterward. Still looks very nice though. Yeah, see what happened there is the FMVs have twice the frame rate that the rest of the game has. So whenever a character shows up in a cutscene, they move twice as fast as they're supposed to. And there apparently Cypher started moving way before he was supposed to. That's what the patterning was. There's Sylphie. I don't think we're supposed to talk to them right now, though. Not supposed to use the save point either, but whatever. Okay, off we go. Yeah, this screen especially looks so much better than the original. Yeah, again, I really like the European style architecture of this game. Okay, I actually forgot to equip Cypher, but we're all good now. Oh yeah, we're on standby now. See, if Cypher would just watch my channel, he would learn to enjoy, you know, the peace and quiet. He'd be having a ball like me. It's actually pretty impressive the way they animated dogs in this game. I imagine that would be more difficult, or at least, you know, very different from all the human animations. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting, the relationship that Squall and Cypher had. I think it's one of those things I understood more and more as I got older. The fact that their rivalry wasn't just bitter hatred, there was more to it. I think on some level, they had kind of an unspoken respect for each other. It's interesting too that Cypher has a scar just like Squall's, and we never find out how he got it. I think we can surmise that his giving Squall a scar was a revenge shot. So maybe he wasn't actually as big of a jerk for that as it seems initially. I reckon the dog can take care of itself. And see, again, there's a minor background glitch there, but, you know, stuff like that happens once in a blue moon. It's nothing major, really. It's worth it having little hiccups and quirks like that for all the improvements that these mods give. I think we get points taken away for talking to him, but whatever. And by the way, I have also modded the crap out of Final Fantasy VII. I heavily debated between doing a playthrough of that game and this game first. That one is actually even more transformed than this. So yeah, I will eventually definitely do a Final Fantasy VII playthrough with graphic mods. I've also got the official remaster of 10, and I've got all kinds of graphic mods for it that make it look amazing. So yeah, I'll definitely do a playthrough of 10 eventually. Even Final Fantasy VI, there are actually a lot of mods you can get for 6 that make it look much improved. I mean, it still looks very old, it's still Super Nintendo, you know, but I actually played Final Fantasy VI for the first time pretty recently. I guess about a year or so ago. And given the time period that it came out in, I think 6 is probably the best of the whole series, once you adjust for time period. You know, but that was the game that really revolutionized the series, took it in a more story-oriented direction. It's one of those things where, you know, the sequels added so much and built so much onto what 6 established. So that said, maybe 6 doesn't age all that well, maybe it's not the most fun one to play, but you have to acknowledge it as, you know, the trailblazer. And what 6 managed to do using Super Nintendo technology, I mean, was just nothing short of incredible. I mean, that's true of all these older Final Fantasy games, given the technology that they were using at the time. I mean, these were big budget games at the time. About as big as it got, I think. And I could be wrong, but I think, based on what I've seen of the newer mods that they're working on for the official remaster of Final Fantasy VIII that McKindis and the others are working on, I mean, it looks like the mods for that are going to be like perfectly sharp, full HD, like nothing's blotchy in spots like it is now. I could be wrong. I mean, a lot of times, you know, when posting pictures on progress they've made, developers and such tend to share the better looking stuff, but based on what I've seen, the mods for the official remaster look really good. And you know, I think it'd be worth waiting several years for a really sharp looking version of this game. That kind of quality takes an insane amount of time. And that's the character that can kill a mega weapon in a few seconds. Yeah, that's another thing I'd forgotten about. You can actually meet Sophie several times. Or you can see Sophie several times before you actually meet her. But a lot of it you can miss. Well, except when she bumps into you. You can't miss that. Yeah, you actually get more points on your exam if you go around rather than jump down. Which, yeah, I think that shows better judgment. I could be wrong, but I think this part is foreshadowing the part that comes up later with Laguna when he and the others jump off the cliff. Alright, I got Sophie now. That's good. She's one of my favorites, gameplay-wise. Still haven't actually decided who I'm gonna use on this playthrough. I might just go with who I like gameplay-wise, because the characters you have with you hardly ever affect the story in a big way in this game. Usually in the main cutscenes, everyone's there anyway. Ah, Bigson Wedge. It's amazing that all this enormous, complex machinery can be manned by two such buffoons. These goof troops here. Oh yeah, this cutscene looks really impressive. Man, that is amazing. Okay, let me at least see what I can draw from this guy. I doubt there's anything I need. Well, Asuna is pretty helpful. Not gonna get 100 of it, but just a little bit. Yeah, Sophie is the only character who has, magic junctioned to her magic stat, so she's the only one using magic right now. Okay, I'm just gonna go after Biggs, because we've been hitting him all along. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, he's got double, which is a very useful spell, but it takes forever to draw at this level. So I'm just not gonna worry about it. Ah, crap. That's the move I gotta watch for. Ah, we're fine. Oh, here we go. Ah! I figured if Cell could, Squall could. Although I really should heal Zell before he gets knocked out. But that's not a priority, of course. Limit Break is. Wow. I think that is the fastest I've ever beaten that thing. Good job, guys. We should pass this exam with flying colors. See right there, that's before reshade, and that's after. You see those green sticks behind Squall's head, how they just have so much more of a glow to them? And that color in the sky, you can see it so much better. And yeah, there are times when it makes everyone's face look a little bit red or orangish, but I'm okay with that if it makes the landscape and everything else look a lot better. That's the thing about reshade, it's, you know, it's kind of hard to find a setting that works universally well across everything. It's the same with sharpening filters. You can easily go overboard with them and make certain areas look grainy. But even then, for me, it's well worth it. And see, if anything, I think Cypher should have gotten in trouble for abandoning his, you know, he basically just deserted everyone that was under his command. Yeah, one way you can get very powerful early on in this game is by learning Siren's ability that refines items into life magic. And then you can turn Tense into Curaga, which gives you a 3rd level spell very early in the game. And it's really not terribly expensive either. See, I don't think I've even ever seen that battle screen before. And I've seen battle screens in this area. There are actually a lot of battle screens in this game that are very easy to miss. Like the one in Galbadia Garden with the hockey players. I didn't even know about that for the longest time. And a lot of people say the hockey player monsters are their favorite enemies. Okay, let's get out of here, Scoob. Now we gotta fight that incessant thing. Lovely. Yeah, this is one thing I may have to tighten up a little bit with editing. It takes a lot of blows to bring this thing down. I didn't mean to do that. It's easy to mess up and do that when you leave cursor memory on. But as you've seen, it can also save you a lot of time. Yeah, just punch it, Zill. That's all you're good for, is punching things. See right here, when you look at that background, and you look at all that moss on the rocks, I'm guessing that's moss. If you just took that moss away, or whatever it is, the background would just instantly lose all of its charm. Whether it's visual-wise, story-wise, it's always the little, just the little cherries on top that make all the difference. Okay, we'll be done with this pretty soon. Just gotta get away from this thing. And once we do, we'll be done with the Dollet mission, and that'll be the end of the video. Right there, if you hesitate for any amount of time whatsoever, that thing will intercept you, and you have to fight it. In here, you have to fight it out of ways, so fun stuff. Yeah, see, it intercepts you on that bridge no matter what you do. Yeah, eventually I'm gonna turn Sophie into a powerhouse, just like the other two. That's the strategy I always use. Just get everyone's strength and speed as high as possible, and just attack frequently. Yeah, Zell's taking it personal. Know how he is with machines. Okay, you gotta save the dog now. There we go. Okay, we shouldn't have to fight that thing anymore, as long as we're quick and careful. You know, I wonder if those cutscenes were improved using Topaz. I've actually used that myself. It's a publicly available program. It's really good. The only downside is it takes a really long time to export. Ah! Run, Squall. Man, my attraction level for geese has just increased like tenfold. But yeah, we made it through that, no problem. I think we're about done with the video now. I'll just finish up the debriefing here. Next video, we'll explore Balam. Go to the party, all that stuff. Ah, we're free. Something that doesn't happen often enough in these old Final Fantasy games. Okay, I think we're gonna let that be it for this video. So yeah, next time we'll pick up with Balam and the party and play a little bit of cards. Then after that we'll do the timber mission. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, if anyone did. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you next time.